On the news tonight, Cross River State government signs contracts with China Harbour Engineering for construction of Bakassi Deep Sea Port. State Attorney General discontinues terrorism charge against Agba Jalingo. Plus, 82 Division Nigerian Army kickstarts 2022 Inter-Brigade Corporal and Below competitions. Details in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to NTA News at 7. I am Ode Alenyo, and now the news in details. The construction of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port is gradually becoming a reality with the signing of contract between the Cross River State government and China Harbour Engineering Company Nigeria Limited. Paul Ebert reports that Governor Benayade supervised the contract signing in Calabar.
The Bakassi Deep Sea Port project is one of the two major signature projects of the Governor Benayade administration when he came into power in 2015. But the project suffered setback due to non-approval of the environmental impact assessment for 3 years by the federal government. But with that episode over, the state government has made several efforts to ensure the project is realized, and with the signing of this contract today for the engineering, construction and procurement as well as finance, the journey for the realization of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port project is now birthed.
With this agreement, it gives China Harbour a full commitment to source fund because it's EPC plus F. Engineering, procurement, construction, and financing. That's what we have signed. Today marks the beginning of the crystallization of this conceptual framework into reality.
Based on preliminary investigations and feasibility studies, the contractor affirms that the Bakassi Deep Sea Port project is realizable.
We believe the port will be the new engine of the growth of the economy and create thousands of job opportunities to benefit the people.
The firm is expected to move to site as soon as it completes sourcing of finance. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Cross River State, Mr. Tanko Ashan, has discontinued terrorism charges filed against Agba Jalingo in the Federal High Court, Calabar. The Attorney General, who was represented by the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. John Oban, informed the court that the Chamber of the Attorney General has decided to withdraw the charges earlier instituted against Agba Jalingo and thereafter urged the court to strike out the charges without opposition from the defense. The court then made an order striking out the charges. Still on judicial matters, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has struck out the application for stay of execution filed by Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi and his deputy Kelechi Igwe. The application for stay of execution on the judgment that sacked Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi and his deputy Kelechi Igwe on grounds that the matter has already been instituted before the Court of Appeal and as such does not have any business in the Federal High Court. Justice Inyam Ekwo gave the ruling in Abuja when the application came before him. Kaduna State government has slumped dusk to dawn curfew on Kafanchan and Kaura local government area following breakdown of law and order in the area. The curfew, which takes immediate effect, is to curtail communal uprising, which engulfs some part of the two local government areas. A statement signed by Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said government is doing everything possible to restore normalcy. The state government appealed for calm among the two warring communities. You are watching news reaching you live from the studio of Nta Calabar. You can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NTA Calabar. We'll go in a break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Proper antenatal and medical attention, early diagnosis, and stigmatization can increase the life expectancy of children with Down syndrome. This forms part of advocates made to make inclusive children with Down syndrome as the global community mark World Down Syndrome Day. But Leo Ajom has details.
Statistics reveal that between 3,000 and 5,000 children are born with this chromosome disorder every year and around the world. According to United Nations, the global incidence of Down syndrome is estimated to be between 1 in 1,000. Although it is not yet known why this syndrome occurs, it is said to always be a part of human condition, and the need for advocacies to make life meaningful for these children becomes very necessary.
So anything that comes up where they are being picked up early, treated, if it's medical condition, you treat, if it's a surgical condition, you do surgery for that. Then even in school, they need extra support, understanding, and time. Because they may not be able to assimilate the way other children that are not having Down syndrome. So the teacher should be made to know, the head teacher, if it's in a private school, the owner of the school, so they will be given special attention.
In our country, we have this special education system for them, specially addressed for such children. And then there are teachers who are being trained in that so that they can handle them and they can educate. They can also receive the rights they are meant to be as human beings. So it needs a lot of medical attention from the society, and any financial funding and other things can make this situation go better, and we can accept them in the society.
More pathetic is where children with this condition are labeled witches or wizards out of ignorance of their parents.
If by accident of the bed you have children like that have Down syndrome, parents should love the children. The society should love the children. They should not throw them away. They are all human beings. They have the image of Christ. There could be people in the future tomorrow. We've seen some of them who, of course, we watch the Nigerian movie. We see some of those who are making very high fame in the movie. Some of them were born dwarfs, who are dwarfed by birth. And then in those societies of old, they may just want to treat them with disdain, but they took advantage of the way they are, and they're becoming very famous. That is how it is. What we need is, what we need as a society is to give everybody a sense of belonging.
I encourage especially those who are in that area, special education scholars, researchers in special education who focus on human beings with certain such challenges, such as Down syndrome, and even all the other kind of challenges, both mental and physical challenges, to continue in their researches, sensitize the public, create awareness, so that we know how we relate with these people whenever we meet them.
Experts therefore advocate proper medical attention, inclusive education, and no stigmatization as provided for in this year's theme for the celebration. Inclusion means. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
Plant trees, preserve forests, and reduce climate change impacts are messages promoted by the United Nations in commemorating the 2022 International Day of Forests. Onenge Fine Faith reports.
Loss of agricultural land, drought, and desertification are occurring 35 times faster than historical rates. 10 million hectares of forest are lost every year to deforestation. These and other unsustainable uses of forests means more zoonotic disease outbreaks, lesser capacity to withstand climatic extremes, and fatal consequences for humanity. International Day of Forests 2022 is an opportunity for collective action against decline in forests and biological diversity.
Our theme, Inspire for the Future, the role of forests in ensuring sustainable production and consumption. Forests provide over 86 million green jobs. 200 million people directly depend on forests for their survival. By degrading our wild spaces, we have created increased opportunities for disease transmissions, as research shows 75% of all emerging infectious diseases come from wildlife.
In Nigeria, this message is sinking deep, and the federal government is waking up to the call to plant trees and protect forest ecosystems.
The Great Green Wall initiative is being implemented in 11 frontline states from Borno to Sokoto. The key components of this are the ecological restoration and rehabilitation to enhance livelihood, and also to promote climate-smart agricultural practices in our people.
2022 also promotes forests for sustainable lifestyles and circular economy to reduce carbon emissions.
Children, no doubt, are a gift from God, but how would you feel if you were the one who already have 4 girls between the ages of 3 and 11 years before now, giving birth to quadruplets, all males? Your guess is as good as mine. This is a true story of subsistence farmer Mr. and Mrs. Ibo Nicholas Ignatius, natives of Asiga Old Town, Yakol local government area, Cross River State. Rika Ivy reports that 3 out of the 4 preterm babies were transferred from the General Hospital Ugeb to the sick bay unit of the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital for intensive care. Over to you.
Human multiple births comes with ample love and excitement to the parents. And research shows that about 90% of human multiple births the world over are conceived with the aid of reproductive medical techniques, such as fertility enhancement drugs or in vitro fertilization. But the case of Mr. and Mrs. Ibo Ignatius is different, as the babies came natural. At the Sick Baby Unit, SBU, University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, the nursing officer in charge, Esther Ese-Ona, expressed confidence that the babies were responding to medical treatment while in incubator.
Baby, you cannot say, definitely that all is well, because the management is in steps, in process, ongoing. It's ongoing, but I would say for now that they are coping fine.
In the face of economic realities now in the country, the parents of the babies and their relatives, though thankful to God for our successful delivery, are looking forward to well-meaning Nigerians for financial succor.
I don't have strength to be able, I cannot be able to carry the children, so I need assistance.
I need assistance from the state government to assist me so these children will grow.
The training of the children is really stressful. And I've been the one running out the test, everything for the children.
In fact, my uncle was actually thanking God for just a male child. And all of a sudden, God bless him with 4.
Mr. and Mrs. Ibo, who are subsistence farmers and have already lost one of the babies, are appealing for financial assistance through First Bank account number 3030501176. Or call this GSM number 0806 510 3182 for more information of assistance. In Calabar, Erika Ivy, Nta News.
The General Officer Commanding 82 Division, Nigerian Army, Major General Torridge Lagbaja says the 2022 Inter-Brigade Corporal and Below competition of the Nigerian Army is to identify personnel who will represent 82 Division in the forthcoming Army-level competitions. Speaking during the opening ceremony at the Ebrutu Military Cantonment, the General Officer Commanding is hopeful that lessons learned at the end of the competition will be subjected to further analysis for collective development in sport and the discharge of assigned responsibility in 82 Division area of responsibility. Achibon Basi reports.
The competition is organized in line with the directive of the Nigerian Army Training and Nigerian Army Focus of Events for the year 2022. The essence is to assess and improve on the physical fitness of troops in 82 Division while enhancing sportsmanship, esprit de corps, and team spirit among participants.
Participants are expected to display high level of competitive spirit in a healthy environment. The officials are hereby urged to uphold the best practices and to be guided always by the existing rules and regulations of the competition.
The exercise is also expected to build troops' individual and collective capacity in line with the vision of the Chief of Army Staff, which is to have a professional Nigerian army ready to accomplish assigned missions within a joint environment in the defense of Nigeria.
There is no doubt that the experience gained will fulfill the objectives of the Nigerian Army as well as enhance the health and well-being of participants.
Activities scheduled for the competition include drill competition, stripping and assembling of weapons, cardiovascular fitness test, night firing, combat swimming, obstacle crossing, and 10-kilometer combat race. Competing formations are 13 Brigade Nigerian Army Calabar, 14 Brigade Abia, 82 Division Garrison Enugu, 44 Engineering and 54 Signal Brigade, and 34 Artillery Owerri in Calabar, Achibombasi, NTA News.
Death is a natural and necessary end for all mortals, but the life of the righteous is regarded as the birth of a new life of eternity with the Lord. These were the words of encouragement for the families of late Mrs. Margaret Odog during the funeral mass held in her honor at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Bansano Sokom, Buki local government area. The report. In a homily, Reverend Father Bob Etta highlighted the need for people to live a positive and impactful life in accordance with the principles of God, the Creator, to guarantee eternal rest with the Lord.
Forgiving and reconciliation, keeping together as a family, doing what the Lord wants us to do, so that in the sight of God will be pleasing to Him.
Preceding the farewell mass was a service of song where Reverend Father Imo Obot admonished Christians who are bereaved not to cry like those who do not have hope in God, but should rather believe in the life after death.
So when we live a good life, we leave good impressions in the hearts of people, and people hardly get tired of it.
In a biography, late Mrs. Margaret Baron Odok was described as a mother of mothers and an embodiment of hard work, peace, and humility, who touched many lives in a remarkable way. The family head, Reverend Father Edward Obi, and other members of the family speak on the good legacies of their late sister that the family will emulate.
Auntie Maggie, as I used to call her very fondly, was a very industrious person. So, and all of our family members are industrious. We believe in doing a job and doing it thoroughly.
I miss the fact that every first day of the month, she calls me. In fact, sometimes she reminds me that it is the first day of the month. She prays for me. She blesses me. In fact, that is what I miss. Just like she gave up on the 28th and on the 28th of February, on the 1st of March, it dawned on me that truly my sister was dead because there was nobody to call me and pray for me.
My mother was actually a very good woman, and I am proud of her. And I think even in my next world, I wish she still give birth to me, like still be my mother.
Late Mrs. Margaret Baron Odok, whose remain was interred at the family compound Bansano Sokom, is the elder sister of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Professor Florence Banku Obi. She is survived by 7 children and other relatives to mourn her demise. From Bansano Sokom, Bokiluku government area, Ode Alenyo, NTA News. And now to end the news, let's take a quick look at some of the stories that make the headlines. The Cross River State government has signed contracts with China Harbour Engineering Company for the construction of Bakassi Deep Sea Port under the watch of Governor Ben Ayade. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Tanko Ashan, has discontinued terrorism charges filed against Agba Jalingo in the Federal High Court, Calabar. It was also in the news that 82 Division of the Nigerian Army has kick-started the 2022 Inter-Brigade Corporals and Below competition to identify personnel that will represent the division at the Army level competition. That's it on our news tonight. From me is good night.